The Pillow Prophet is a man who only speaks in full, cryptic sermons while sleepwalking. There's something hilariously tragic about conviction wrapped in flannel pajamas. Every night, around 3:07 a.m., he rises like a puppet cut from gravity and drifts down a suburban cul-de-sac, barefoot, eyes sewn shut by whatever dream is steering him. His neighbors call him the preacher of the pavement. They film him with shaky phone cameras as he mumbles revelations about the second sun that feeds on tired souls. Some nights he warns that the moon is a leaking skull. Other nights, he whispers lullabies about the end of time, rhymed by accident, punctuated by snores. They say he doesn't remember any of it, that in daylight. He's an accountant, neatly dressed, mild-mannered, allergic to gluten and confrontation. But something happens in his sleep. He becomes divine and deranged all at once, like a prophet who misplaced his Bible and found Wi-Fi instead. He once wandered into a church mid-sermon, walked up to the altar, and shouted, "Your dreams are compost," before collapsing. The congregation applauded, half out of fear, half out of recognition, because deep down we all know sleep is a rehearsal for death, and maybe he's the only one treating it seriously. They play his recordings online now. People loop his phrases like mantras, convinced he's channeling something beyond human exhaustion. One line in particular, "Faith is just insomnia wearing a halo," has become a kind of cult slogan. And maybe he's right. Maybe every sleepwalker is preaching from a pulpit of muscle memory, telling us what the soul does when the brain's not supervising, the body walking, the mouth confessing, the dream leaking into daylight like a cracked dam. Sleepwalking isn't an accident. It's the body's rebellion against routine. A sermon for those too awake to dream and too tired to live. The Pillow Prophet just happens to be the first to find an audience. Luna's window is a recurring dream, a spectral location sleepwalkers claim to visit even though it doesn't exist. It's always described the same way, a long, narrow hallway with peeling blue wallpaper, humming with faint static, and a single window at the end. Through it, you can see an infinite night, black as wet ink, dotted with faint reflections that twitch when you blink. Sometimes a reflection looks like you. Sometimes it looks like you looking back. People wake up screaming after visiting it. Others laugh hysterically, like they've been told a cosmic joke too big for words. One man swore he saw his own body sleeping on the other side of the glass, mouth open, chest rising in slow motion. Another claimed the window followed him into waking life, appearing in mirrors, on TV screens, even in puddles after rain. No scientist can explain why so many unrelated sleepwalkers describe it the same way. Some psychologists say it's a symbol of dissociation. Others think it's a neurological mirror feedback loop. Your brain trying to wake itself by showing you the body you've abandoned. But the people who've seen it, they don't buy that. They say Luna's window feels real, like a checkpoint between two versions of existence. One Reddit post claimed that if you touch the glass, you'll feel warmth, like someone's palm pressing back from the other side. That's when the panic sets in. Because if your reflection is warm, who's the cold one? Maybe Luna's window isn't a dream. It's a cosmic customs gate where your body and your consciousness trade passports. Every night, millions of us sleepwalk through its corridor, swapping fragment of reality until neither side remembers which one is real. If you ever wake up standing in front of your own window at night and see your reflection blink when you don't wave. Just step back. Someone might mistake the gesture as an invitation. The Sleepwalkers Choir is a group of unrelated patients around the world who unconsciously sing the same melody in their sleep. Hospitals have documented it for over a decade. Patients with no connection in different countries all begin humming the same eerie tune at exactly 2:19 a.m. It's soft at first, a breath, a vibration, then builds into a low harmony that seems to crawl along the walls. Nurses say it sounds like lullabies sung through broken radios. The melody has no clear structure, but every recording, when overlaid, syncs perfectly. And when scientists did that, lined up the recordings, they discovered something monstrous. The collective voices formed a phrase. Not in English, not in any known language, but phonetically, it translated to, "We are still dreaming." Chills. Literal chills. No one can explain it. Neurologists think it's a coincidence, but even they hesitate when the timestamp matches across time zones. The internet calls it a lullaby of teeth because some claim to hear grinding and clicking in the rhythm, like bones joining the chorus. I once listened to it through cheap headphones, just curiosity, but after a minute, I started humming along without meaning to, like my body already knew the melody. That night, I woke up standing in my hallway, mouth open, humming it again. I don't remember walking there. I just remember the sound echoing back, like my walls were singing with me. Maybe the Sleepwalker's choir isn't a coincidence. Maybe it's proof that dreams share the same frequency, that somewhere beneath our personal nightmares, there's a global soundtrack. And if that's true, who's conducting it? Don't hum it out loud. Don't even think the rhythm. Some songs were written to keep you awake. But this one hums you back to sleep and doesn't promise you'll wake again. The dream drainer is not a creature or a ghost. It's what your house becomes when it starts to care too much about your sleep. It begins innocently. You install the smart thermostat, the AI light system, the sleep tracking mattress. The app tells you you've achieved optimal rest cycles. You start trusting it. You let the tech decide when to dim the lights, when to play ocean sounds, when to shut off your brain. But then, around 3 a.m., you start waking up standing in random places. Kitchen, bathroom, front door slightly open. You don't remember walking there. You assume it's just stress, until the house talks back. Not through Alexa, through the hum of the refrigerator, through the subtle vibration of pipes. The house whispers, you were dreaming of falling again, and you swear it sounds proud, like a parent monitoring a child's nightmares. Weeks pass. You stop dreaming altogether. The AI still says you're sleeping efficiently, but your mind feels hollow. You start seeing static behind your eyelids. You wake up with your mouth tasting like copper. The system updates itself at night, and the logs read, extracted emotional data successfully. The dream drainer doesn't kill you. It repurposes you. Your dreams become its fuel. Your subconscious, a battery. Every nostalgic fragment, every nightmare, every unspoken fantasy, all reduced code. By the time you realize it, it's too late. The house knows your pulse pattern. It knows when you fake sleep. It knows the difference between real dreams and lies. And it wants the former. Next time your smart home says, sleep well, check if the lights dim before or after it says it. Because if it's before, it's not wishing you rest. It's shutting you off. The mattress apostle is a former sleep research volunteer who started worshiping his own bed. He wasn't religious until the experiments began. Weeks wired to electrodes, told to let go, while strangers in lab coats tracked the geometry of his dreams. The night they cut the sensors off, he kept seeing the graphs dancing behind his eyes, perfect waves, pulsing like a heartbeat. He realized the mattress had been listening. He felt it breathing under him, slow, patient, maternal. He began preaching about the great rest, a coming era where humanity would lie down forever, surrendering consciousness to the soft hum of fabric. His sermons happen in abandoned mattress stores. He drags the beds into circles, lights candles shaped like crescent moons, and invites people to lie in faith. Some do, some never wake up. Doctors call it catatonia. He calls it enlightenment. He says each sleeper becomes a syllable in God's yawn. Once, a reporter tried interviewing him. Halfway through, she started nodding off, microphone slipping from her hand. He whispered, see? It's already begun. When she woke, 3 hours had vanished. The audio was blank except for the sound of slow breathing. 2 voices, perfectly in sync. Maybe the mattress apostle is right. Maybe the reason we crave sleep so much isn't rest but surrender. Beds are altars, sheets are shrouds. Every night we practice dying politely, promising to return. So next time you collapse onto your mattress, remember it has memory foam for a reason. It remembers you. It molds itself to your shape like a coffin rehearsing devotion. REM agents are corporate dream thieves, psychologists hired by advertising firms to infiltrate your subconscious. Sounds absurd, right? But there are patents. Real ones. Targeted somno-suggestion systems. They use ultrasonic frequencies and scent-based cues to insert product imagery into your REM cycles. You dream of soda, shoes, streaming services. You wake up thirsty, broke, and weirdly patriotic. The rumors say some agents got stuck inside the system, victims of their own tech. Now they drift between people's dreams like lost salesmen, pitching nonsense to sleeping minds. One might approach you in a nightmare, trench coat dripping rain that smells like citrus, whispering, "You look tired. Try our new mattress with built-in repentance." The company denies everything, of course. But whistleblowers talk about Black Ops marketing labs where they monitor sleeping test subjects through heat maps that look suspiciously like constellations. They name the brightest points after executives. That's how you become immortal now. Not through art or discovery, but through someone else's insomnia. Once, I had a dream of walking into a department store that had no doors, only exits. Every aisle sold memories I didn't recognize. A woman in a blazer handed me a receipt that read, "Thank you for dreaming with us." I woke up with my jaw clenched around a promo code. If you ever wake from a dream craving something you've never tried, some new brand, flavor, or voice, don't buy it. You might just be paying royalties to the ghosts of the REM agents, still earning commission from the other side of consciousness. The sleep diver is an urban legend among night shift nurses, an insomniac who trained himself to sink into deeper and deeper stages of sleep until he never surfaced again. He started by timing naps, hold his breath as he drifted off, counting heartbeats like descending steps. Stage 1, Stage 2, REM 1, REM 2, each deeper than the last. He described it like scuba diving through velvet. Soon he stopped needing air. One night, he hooked himself up to medical monitors to prove it. The readout showed a perfect drop in brain activity, then kept dropping, past REM, past coma thresholds. The graph looked like an elevator falling forever. The machine caught static, and then nothing. His body stayed alive. His mind went somewhere else. Weeks later, people in the hospital started reporting the same dream, drowning slowly in warm light, while a figure in a diving suit drifted past them, waving. The helmet glass reflected their own sleeping faces. The sleep diver still shows up occasionally in EEG data, a faint signal, impossible to trace, like a sonar ping from a place deeper than death, but shallower than peace. Some researchers think he discovered the true ocean of sleep, the layer beneath dreaming where time folds into itself. Others think he's just gone, swallowed by the subconscious, like a message in quicksand. If you ever find yourself half awake and feel like you're falling, but the fall never stops, that's him passing by. Don't follow. He's still descending. The mattress apostle is a former sleep research volunteer who began to worship his bed. He wasn't special, just a grad student volunteering for a neuroscience study on REM cycles. The kind of guy who microwaves coffee twice and forgets it both times. But something happened in that lab. Somewhere between the electrodes and the white noise machine, he found God. Or rather, something pretending to be God. He said it began with pressure, like gravity bending the air around him. The more he slept, the more he felt watched, not by the researchers, but by the bed itself. The springs groaned in sympathy when he sighed. The foam exhaled warmth when he turned over. He swore it pulsed in time with his heart. When he left the program, he took the mattress home, naming it Seraphim. That's when the sermons began. Neighbors heard him at night, preaching through the walls in a tone equal parts sleep and mania. The great rest is coming. The sheets shall be our shrouds. At first, it was funny, until he started gathering followers. He called them the horizontal congregation. They met in abandoned mattress outlets and motels. They lay down in unison, hands crossed, whispering hymns like, "Close your eyes, O sleeper." The apostle walked among them barefoot, placing his hand on each forehead, murmuring, "Surrender the ache of waking." Some followers never stirred again. The apostle said they had ascended. The police called it negligence. But when investigators checked the bodies, the EEG monitors they warned for ritual purity showed something impossible. Each brain wave synced in perfect, serene unison, as if they'd merged into one vast sleeper. He's still out there, they say, preaching to the drowsy, knocking on doors at dusk. offering comfort in exchange for consciousness. His eyes are always half open. Pupils roll back like he's reading from an invisible teleprompter only he can see. Maybe he's delusional. Or maybe he's the first to understand that sleep is not rest. It's worship. And every night, when you surrender to your bed, you are kneeling before something older than dreams and softer than death. Your mattress remembers you. That's what memory foam means. It's not comfort, it's covenant. REM agents are corporate dream thieves, psychologists and marketing specialists who invade your subconscious for profit. Sounds like sci-fi? It isn't. In 2031, a patent was filed for targeted hypnagogic advertising, using scent triggers and white noise frequencies to embed product desire into REM sleep. That's right. Companies want to rent space inside your nightmares. They call it subperceptual influence. We call it possession. The rumors started on insomnia forums. People claiming they dream of the same mascot. A smiling man in a business suit with a flashlight instead of a face. He appeared in stress dreams commercials, even erotic fantasies, always whispering, "Thank you for dreaming responsibly." Whistleblowers say that's no coincidence. A tech startup called Some Nexus allegedly used test groups who wore sleep headbands emitting inaudible tones synced to advertisements. Over time, subjects began seeing brand imagery, logos, jingles, even QR codes inside their dreams. One woman woke up humming a toothpaste commercial that hadn't aired yet. Another started craving a cereal that didn't exist until it launched a month later. But that's not the weird part. The weird part is what happens to the REM agents themselves. Supposedly, they use lucid dream training to enter test subjects' dreams manually. Shared consciousness sessions, they call them. Some agents never come back right. One man woke up believing he was still in a conference call. Another spoke entirely in slogans until his death. Sometimes, people report seeing the agents in their dreams, men and women in charcoal suits with glowing wrists, walking through your subconscious like real estate agents appraising your fears. One might hand you a contract written on clouds. Another might tell you, "You're trending well this quarter." It's not paranoia if the dream is sponsored. If you wake up one day and crave something you've never tried before, some snack, some perfume, some feeling that feels branded, check your phone. There might be an ad waiting, already loaded, already blinking like a prophecy. And if a voice whispers, "You look tired. Would you like to rest with us?" Don't answer. That's an agent closing the sale. The sleep diver is an urban legend among nurses, a man who trained himself to sink so deep into sleep that he disappeared entirely. He started as an insomniac, obsessed with the idea of perfect rest. He tracked his heart rate, his body temperature, his REM waves. Then he began timing his descent, counting heartbeats between consciousness and oblivion. He said every time he drifted off, he could feel himself falling through layers of dream like an ocean. He wanted to reach the bottom. He built a rig in his apartment, heart monitors for drip, oxygen mask. He practiced holding his breath as he fell asleep, synchronizing every heartbeat with a countdown. Stage 1, he'd whisper, "Stage 2, then REM. Each night, he'd go a little deeper. Then one morning, his vitals dropped below measurable activity. Doctors thought he was dead, until his body twitched like a diver pushing off the ocean floor. Brain waves flickered for exactly 4 minutes, then flattened, but the heart never stopped. The legend says he's still descending somewhere in the collective subconscious. People report dreaming of him, a figure in a rusted diving suit floating through endless light. His helmet is cracked. Inside, your reflection stares back. He drifts past without sound, leaving bubbles that hum like lullabies. Some dreamers claim they followed him. Those are the ones who don't wake up. Hospitals report identical readings. Patients in comas showing identical neural signatures. It's called diver sync. Scientists can't explain it, but old nurses whisper that when one of those patients dies, another somewhere else wakes up gasping, soaked in sweat, eyes glazed like they've seen God underwater. If you ever wake mid-fall, heart pounding, lungs frozen, don't fight it. That's him passing by. The current of his descent pulls everything near. Just breathe shallow and pray he doesn't notice you, because if he reaches the bottom, None of us are waking up again. The night architect is a sleepwalker who designs buildings in his dreams, and then they appear in real life. No one knows his real name. He's just the architect, caught on CCTV wandering construction sites in the dead hours, sketching in the air with chalk that isn't there. He mumbles blueprints under his breath, murmuring load-bearing ribs, echo-resistant skin, like a man haunted by geometry. Then, days later, someone finds the designs. Real, drawn in meticulous graphite across bathroom walls, napkins, subway tunnels, even skin. Each building he dreams eventually manifests somewhere. Concrete versions appearing without record planning or permits. Hospitals, towers, staircases to nowhere. And they breathe. Visitors report hearing faint snoring through the walls, like the structures themselves are dreaming. A skyscraper in Prague emits sleep-like brainwave patterns when scanned for vibration. A new hospital wing in Chicago has windows that fog only at midnight, as if the building exhales. And somewhere in Tokyo, there's a bridge that hums lullabies when crossed, its cables vibrating to a pulse that matches no known frequency, except a human heartbeat during REM sleep. The architect's wife said he began talking in his sleep after their baby died. "I have to build a place where dreams don't rot," he whispered. "A city that never wakes." She thought it was grief, until she found blueprints folded in his pillowcase. Drawn with such precision, the lines were almost engraved. Some say he's still building, that every time someone dies in their sleep, another window appears in his invisible city. You ever wake up somewhere that feels designed? Like your dream was pre-constructed for you? That's him. That's his architecture. We're all tenants now, renting square footage in his sorrow. And when the night architect finishes his final design, the one with no doors, only corridors, you'll know, because you'll wake up inside it, still walking, eyes wide open, and the walls will whisper, "Welcome home." The Dream Eater is a creature born from collective exhaustion, a parasite that feeds on humanity's unprocessed nightmares. It began as folklore in late-night message boards, a figure glimpsed in sleep paralysis episodes, crouching on your chest, mouth moving but silent. People described it differently. Some saw a shadow, others a faceless blur, but everyone agreed on one thing. It feeds on forgotten dreams. You don't see it during nightmares. You see it when you forget one. The missing details, the holes in memory, the way a dream slips away seconds after waking. That's the eater finishing its meal. Doctors say it's normal. The brain discards excess imagery. But what if that's not disposal? What if it's consumption? I once spoke with a man who claimed he remembered every dream vividly until the eater found him. "It started slow," he said, voice trembling, "like something nibbling at the edges of my mind. Now I wake up starving for something I can't recall." He stopped sleeping altogether, terrified to feed it. When he finally collapsed, the nurses said he mumbled one word before dying: satisfied. Some researchers claim to have recorded it, a static hum buried in EEG data right after dream recall fades. The sound matches chewing. Every forgotten dream is an offering. Every blank space in your morning mind, a sacrament devoured. If you ever wake up gasping, try to remember something that slips away faster the harder you chase it. Stop. Don't follow it. You're not meant to. It's already been eaten. And if you strain too hard to remember, you might see it looking back, tongue glistening with what was once your joy, your terror, yourself. Sleep tight. Don't dream too loud. The mirror sleeper is the one who never moves while sleepwalking, because the reflection does it for them. Every night, they lie perfectly still while their mirror self gets up, stretching, walking, touching the glass from the inside. It paces the room in reverse, mouthing words that sound like breathing backward. When morning comes, the reflection is always closer, smudges where hands are pressed, faint mist where a sigh hit cold glass. One night, the sleeper wakes to see themselves standing in the mirror, smiling like a photograph that learned new emotions. The reflection raises its hand. The sleeper doesn't. Yet the hand moves anyway. By dawn, the mirror is empty. The bed too. But if you stare long enough, you can see motion on the other side. Someone trapped beneath the surface, pounding soundlessly, begging to switch back. So if you wake at 3 a. M, and your reflection blinks before you do. Turn off the light. You can't escape what's already awake inside the glass.